Do you hear that? That is the sound of a fatal heartbeat just 6 weeks after conception. That is the sound of beautiful human life. If it is so illegal to just take that heartbeat away from those on the streets, why should it be legal that we can take that heartbeat away from those of our own blood? Life does not start the second that a baby enters the hospital bed coming out of its mother's womb. Life starts the second that conception takes place. Those on the opposing side, pro-choice, believe that if it's your body, you should have the right to decide if you want to get an abortion. But I am here today to tell you why that is wrong. Abortion is mentally, emotionally, and logistically wrong, and I'm going to tell you why, starting with the long-term effects it leaves on the mother, the misuse of abortions, and lastly, why abortion is wrong and the alternatives. Starting with the long-term effects it leaves on the mother, both mentally and physically. According to AmericanPregnancy.org, women who have had abortions have gone on to later in life experience anger, regret, sense of isolation, eating disorders, depression, anxiety, suicidal thoughts, and a ton of other things that tear someone apart mentally. But not only does abortion take a toll on these women mentally, it also affects them physically. Women who have had abortions have gone on to have heavier persistent bleeding, infection, damage to the cervix, damage to other organs, and most seriously, death. So why would you want to risk getting an abortion if it's going to affect you mentally, physically, and even risk death? Moving on to the misuse of abortions. Women believe that if they were to get pregnant unplanned, that, oh, it's okay, because they can just go to the clinic, get an abortion, pretend like it never even happened. But according to National Abortion Federation, 35% of all women of reproductive age will have at least one abortion by the age that they are 45. There was a survey done, and 57% of women said that they had an abortion because they were either still in school or working to get a higher degree. And then in another survey, another 57% were surveyed, and they said that they had it because they were of low income. That means that the majority of people are not getting abortions for medical reasons or because they were raped. They're getting it because they chose to have irresponsible sex and don't want to deal with the circumstances. Moving on to our last point, why abortion is never the answer and the alternatives. According to Millennium magazine, it is shown that women believe that either they think their only options are to have the kid and raise the child, or their only other option is to have an abortion. But they forget about all the other options, such as adoption. Just because you are not ready to raise another human life does not mean that there are not families out there that would do anything to add your baby to their family. In the United States alone, 135,000 kids a year are getting adopted, and that means 135,000 couples said no to abortion, and now there are families out there who got to have another member to their family, and 135,000 kids who now are living and happy with their families. There are even families out there who cannot have kids for many different reasons, so abortion is pretty selfish in many different ways. And if you aren't looking to do adoption, there are many other options out there, such as temporary foster care. A lot of times, if you are not ready to raise your kid, you also don't want to just give them up to another family. So with temporary foster care, you are able to put them into the foster care system, get your life together, do what you need to do before you are ready, and then your child will be returned to you, and you can then raise your family responsibly. First comes love, then comes marriage, but what about the baby and the baby carriage? If you are ever put into a position where you're dealing with an unplanned pregnancy, I really hope that you stop and think about the things we learned today, such as the long-term effects abortion has on the mothers, the misuse of abortions, and lastly, why abortion is never the answer and the alternatives. And then I hope that you realize abortion really is never the answer.